this new year, we cry out to you, the one who restores broken hearts, who refreshes tired spirits, who makes all things new. Let our faith and hope be born again today. Help us to let go of the past, to stop looking back and turn our eyes toward you. We are here today in full acceptance of who we've been, but also in hopeful expectation of who you're shaping us to be. Let your love work in us so you can better work through us. We stand ready to embrace all you have for our lives, ready to do your will, ready to witness the wonders of your mighty hand, ready to share the redeeming love, the perfect grace, the life-changing salvation you have given us. So today, we lift up our voices in praise to the one who washes away our failures, who wipes away our fear and doubt, to the Almighty God who makes all things new.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? So good to see each and every one of you all here. This is the day the Lord has made, and I made up my mind to rejoice and be glad in it. And I want to officially welcome each and every one of you all to this second session of our MasterClass series. And this series is positioned and designed for anyone who's made up their mind that they want to be more effective, not only in their personal lives, but effective in their financial, spiritual, relational, parental, whatever it is that you want to throw on it. And this class is designed to do that and to help you become more strategic with your habits. And I'm excited about today because today is going to shape us to identify who we want to be. We've already learned that it's difficult to have goals and to go after those goals until we first see ourselves in a different light. And that's what we want to talk about. So what I'd like to do first and foremost is, again, to let you know that we have digital pastors. Those are the people who help us making sure that our notes or any points of clarification, anything that is instrumental in our time together, that goes in the comment section, and it goes posted so that you can reference it at a later time. And on top of that, if you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And you can bookmark this site on YouTube at ClarenceStowersTV. That's my handle. And don't forget to subscribe and then hit that bell. That enables notifications so that when we go live, you'll know it. And additionally, those who are watching on Facebook, we're streaming right now at Mars Hill Chicago's page. And you can like and enable notifications there, as well as my personal page and on my profile. We believe in becoming all things to all people, that we might win some to Christ. Now hit that like button. Costs you absolutely nothing to hit that like button. And we'd greatly appreciate it if you would do just that. And then don't forget to bookmark those sites. We're on Twitter as well. Thank God we're there. And you get the opportunity to see us on Mars Hill's handle as well as on my handle. And now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, it's so good to see you all with us. We are back once again. We met this past Sunday in person, and we had a joyful time. We had a wonderful time, and the Spirit of the Lord was there. And we kicked off that Sunday looking at the Apostle Paul, looking at Jesus and how they too were men of habit. They were habitual in what they do. So let me explain a little bit of how this goes. On Sunday, we lay the spiritual and the theological foundation for what we're doing. And that's where we go to the scriptures, and then we study them, and then we look at them in isolation, then in context, and then in turn, we extract principles for daily living. We lay the spiritual and theological foundations on Sunday. And then in this MasterClass series, then we come back, we roll up our sleeves, and then we get real practical. So Sunday, spiritual, theological, worshipful. Wednesday, we roll up our sleeves during these master classes and get very practical. And I trust that you all are ready to do that. All right. I see you all are already busy in the chat, and that makes me excited. And I'm thankful. And for those who are new, this is your first time journeying with us, I have a couple of freebies that I'm excited to share. I'm going to reference a document, a workbook actually, that if you're on our email list, you should have received. So this is the Start Small MasterClass workbook. That's right. That's the benefit of being connected. That's the benefit of registering. That's the benefit that you get freebies, that you get tools. And these tools are going to help you on a journey. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. It has a welcome from me. And then in addition to that, it's got some more good stuff in it. And like I said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So let me know in the comment section if you received your Start Small MasterClass workbook. Let me know in the comments section. And the digital pastors, they have that link, and you can drop that link, digital pastors, in the comments section so people can have it. All right, we're going to be together today for about a good 20-30 minutes. Petite, you already on it. She says she got hers. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, First Lady, you got yours as well. Now, you want it. Trust me, you want it. A lot of thought, a lot of care went into it, because I thank God for the people that are journeying with me, who've made up their mind to be a part. Levita received hers. All right. We're going to be together for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then it's going to give you time to really reflect on the material, reflect on what was shared, to have conversation. And then on top of that, you'll be able to see how it applies to your life, so that we will become better about the habits that we set. And with that stated, I'm thankful to God. Let's begin our journey today as we look at starting small, developing the habits, and getting that blueprint for life.
Welcome to Start Small, the little habits that lead to big results. The start of a new year is a time of hope and renewal, and many of us are determined to make big changes in the coming year. But sometimes trying to make big changes all at once can be overwhelming and difficult to sustain. That's where small habits come in. In this masterclass, you'll learn how focusing on small, consistent behaviors can have a big impact on your life and help you achieve your goals. We'll explore the science behind small habits and you'll learn how to set clear goals, build a strong foundation for success, and overcome common barriers to change. By the end of this course, you'll have the tools and confidence to make small, meaningful changes that add up to big results in the long run. So, are you ready to start small and achieve big things? Let's get started.
Praise God. All right, you all. We have our welcome and we have our overview, and I trust that you all were pulling and downloading that workbook and had a chance to print it out so that you can journey with us. Now, we're going to reference that a little bit later, but what I'd like to do is begin this time that we have together with a question. What do successful people have in common? I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear you share in the comments section. What do successful people have in common? Now, the most successful, they're not always the smartest. They're not always the hardest working or the best connected people. What do successful people all have in common? Whether it's in the spiritual realm or the secular realm. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Your answers. What do successful people, they all have in common? And as you get ready to drop your questions or get ready to drop your answers, I want you to think about it. Because what you're going to discover, whether they know Jesus or not, whether they are male or female, whether they are African American, Caucasian, Latino, Asian, these principles supersede gender, race, orientation, all of the above. What do they have in common? All right, I see. Petite says that they have routine habits. You on it. Irene says determination and perseverance. Successful people all have in common, you all, the ability to create habits, strategic habits that lead to desired results. I pray you caught that. They create strategic habits that ultimately lead to desired results. Let me give you a chance to chew on that. Because what you and I have discovered, and I love this quote from Stephen Covey, he says that we start with the end in mind. We talked about that during our first session, with the end in mind, and that the most successful people, now you got to catch this one because this is golden. They intentionally create strategic habits, and then those habits in turn lead to desired results. Chew on that. Because when you chew on that, what ends up happening is we learn the beauty of how it all works when we walk together on last week. Y'all remember what we talked about last week? That when we implement the right habits and then get rid of the wrong habits, then they in turn drastically improve our lives. And that's what we want to work on. And then we talked about when you make small adjustments, these small adjustments in turn lead to massive transformation. We're not talking about small changes. We're talking about massive transformation. And then we looked at the difference, and I'm just laying the foundation for what I came to share today. We looked at the difference of having a goal-driven habit, whereby there's a behavior that we want to accomplish in order for us to achieve a goal. We exhausted that, so I would encourage you to watch session 1 to get caught up on that. And then we nail down, or we drill down, that we're looking beyond just having goal-driven habits. No, we want system-driven habits, where we focus on creating a system that produces the goal that we desire. Remember, successful people, they have strategic systems in place so that we get the desired result, which is the goal. And I'm talking about this Sunday. Daniel had a strategic system that produced a desired result. And when you see that Jesus had a strategic system, it says he often withdrew to the Father to pray. I touched on that during Sunday's message. Paul had a system whereby he went to the temple to converse with those who did not know Jesus, to explain Jesus. And when we have a system-driven process that gets us to our desired result. So now we have to focus on identity. Because when we change the behaviors that we currently do to match the beliefs about who we are, I ended Sunday's message on that, then we position ourselves to start making some meaningful change. So that's what we want to focus on. We want to focus on a developing system-driven habits, where we focus on the systems and the processes that will get us to our goal, which is tied to our identity. This is key. How we see ourselves, not as we are, but how do we see ourselves as to what we're becoming. Then we concluded last week talking about how we change our identity. Our habits, it starts with our identity. The cue, the trigger, the craving, which the cue produces, which leads to a response, which is the behavior, and in turn leads to the reward, which is the satisfaction. Now, you should be caught up in where we are with that. So what I want to do is I want to spend a little time walking us through the identity part. The identity part, which allows us to start now hammering down, creating the habits which are attached to our identity with a bulletproof system whereby we accomplish the goals that we set out. Y'all ready for this? Man, that was a lot. I know it was a lot. Let me know in the comment section if you all are ready for this, Now, beginning this journey, this is key, and I want you to catch this. I want you to grasp this. Most people start by focusing their goals on what they want to do. Most people. But you're about to enter into a different category after today. Most people start focusing their goals on what they want to do. But today, I want to extend an invitation and ask you this question. Now, don't answer it. It's more rhetorical. What do you want to become? Because when we think about what we want to become, then that begins to shape what we do. Because it's quite difficult to want to do something when you have yet to become something. And when we ask this question, you know, we're focused on the internal qualities. And the reason we're focusing on the internal quality is because where is your brain located? Internally. Where's your heart located? Internally. Your emotions, where are they located? Internally. And because all of these things are internal, focusing on those qualities puts us in a favorable position because what we believe and think determines how we feel, the emotions we feel, which in turn impact what we do. So the reason that many quit New Year's resolutions about 2 weeks after they begin them, because they had a behavior goal that was detached from their identity of who they wanted to become. Let me know in the comments section if that makes sense. All right. Now here's what we want to do. Here's what we want to do. Now, I want to put 2 questions before you. 2 questions. I want to get you to answer these 2 questions. This is key. This is key. What's the biggest driving force that shapes your habits? I want you to think about it. Now, you may not be able to answer this today because we're talking about months. We're talking about years. We're talking about perhaps decades. The driving force that shapes your habits. Let me give you an example. Think about it. Whenever you decide to do something subconsciously, that's not even thinking about it, something is driving that. And until we discover what is driving that, then it's going to be difficult to pinpoint the change that we want to see. So anytime you face any situation, the mind is subconsciously asking you, okay, what's the situation? What kind of person am I? And what does a person like me do in this situation? And so now we do what we do because of what we think about ourselves. Chew on this. Because when you chew on this, then you'll be able to discover how huge this identity piece is. So if we want to change, this is what James Clear's book drills down into in Atomic Habits. And I quote, he says, if you want to change what you do, then you have to change what you think about you. Because what you think about you is driving the things that you do. That's why yesterday looks no different than today. You ever had that feeling? Where it's blah, blah, blah. Same thing. I get up, do the same thing, say the same things, interact with the same people. And it's like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But if you don't change what you do, then you change what you think about you. So if you don't like every day being blah, 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 every day, rinse and repeat. Every day, same situation. If you want to change what you do, then you change what you think about you. Is that making sense, you all? Come on, think about it. Is that making sense? If I'm making any type of sense, come on, talk back to me in the comments section, because we want to spend the next few minutes getting real practical. This is where the workbook comes in handy, all right? I want you to think about this. I want y'all to think about this, all right? Let's get practical. Let's get practical. Let's get practical. How do you identify you? Now, this is rhetorical, but in the midst of being rhetorical, then we have to get real specific. How do you identify you? This past Sunday, during my message, I gave very specific statements on what I thought about me, very specific. And in the midst of being very specific, I said some things, and I quote, I want to make sure that I get this right. I want to make sure that I don't miss this in how I viewed me, how I viewed myself. It was a message called Moving from Routine to Revival. And in that message, it was a blueprint from transformation through daily habits. And as I shared you all, towards the end of that message, man, it got real good. Because I had the chance to kind of walk our congregation through, who do I want to become? My identity. And I said I wanted to be, or I'm becoming a man who loves Jesus. A man who's in love with his wife, a great father, and a great pastor. Then I'm a strong leader who believes in people and is helping them to level up in all areas of life to make a difference in the world. I'm a wise steward, the man who takes care of whatever is entrusted in his hands, whether it be my health, whether it's influence, whether it's money, whether it's time, and then use it all not only to expand the kingdom of God, but to glorify God. And then I ended it and said, man, I'm just a dude who's enjoying life. I'm rich in friendships, experiences, generosity, and working towards building one heck of a legacy. Did y'all catch that? So now that I've shaped my identity, the next step is to create a system of habits based on who I'm becoming. So now that these habits begin to guide my life every day. So what does it mean to be a strong leader who believes in people, helping them to level up in every area of life, to make a difference in the world? That means I got to be a good reader. I've got to read every day. I've got to challenge myself every day. I've got to keep my finger on the pulse of the moment so that I can help people be all that God have called them to be. I've got to be on the cusp of technology. I've got to be the one who's pioneering the latest innovations. So what do I do daily that becomes a part of my system that's attached to my identity? Y'all see where I'm going with this? So now think about this, think about this, think about this, think about this. Today, we're going to create at least one statement. Now we'll get to the habits. We'll get to how to break bad habits. We're going to do that next week, how to break bad habits. But we want to start with something positive. So I want you to write down or type it in your phone. Just don't leave the stream. Figure it out. 2 statements, all right? 2 statements. Check this out. You're going to create an I am statement. An I am statement. Digital pastors, help me out on this one. An I am statement is a 1-sentence answer to this question. What kind of person do I want to become? Charlie, what type of person do you want to become? Kim, what type of person, what type of woman do you want to become? That's the I am question. And you notice what I said. I'm going to give you an example based on my mind. I am a strong leader who believes in helping people level up in every area of their lives. Now, I just gave y'all the short version. Here's the original version. I'm a strong leader who believes in people and is helping them level up in every area of life so that they get 1% better relationally, financially, spiritually, and holistically, so that at the end of the year, they are 37% better in everything. That's the original version. That's who I am. So now I have to ask myself, what type of habits do I need to create to make that identity become my reality? I have 4 of them. We're working with you on one of them. Here it is. I want you to give a 1-sentence answer to the question, what kind of person do I want to become? That's right. We're creating an I am statement. And that I am statement is tied to this question. Thank you, Petite. What kind of person do I want to become? I love what I'm seeing in the comments section right now. Pat has already beat y'all to the punch. Look at what Pat says. She says, a conqueror who is not afraid to step and think outside of the box. Pat, that's wonderful. That's awesome. So now, Pat, since you're halfway there, your next step is, okay, what type of habits do I need to begin developing daily that makes the statement, a conqueror who is not afraid to step and think outside of the box, become a reality? Woo, my God, this is good. This is good, you all. That's where we are, Pat. Now, I'm going to help you out on that. So that's the first statement, I am, and I am statement. I am statement. I am statement. Okay, the next set, and this is where we're going to conclude. I told you we're only be together about 30, 40 minutes today. The next statement. In addition to an I am statement, then I want you to prayerfully write an I do statement. What's the one habit you need to create to reinforce what you want to become? Now that's the doing part. That's where the rubber meets the road. What's the one habit you need to create to reinforce who you want to become? Since Pat put us out there, Pat, I got to come back to you if you don't mind. I'm searching in the comment. Pat says, this is her I am statement. I am a conqueror who's not afraid to step and think outside the box. Okay. Your next goal or your next step in all of this is to create a habit, just one habit, to reinforce who you want to become. So what that means, Pat, what that looks like, the very thing that you were either fearful to do, and when you look at that fearful thing that you were afraid to do, it could be as something simple as going back to school. A do statement can say, well, I'm going to get online and I'm going to start searching for schools every day for the next 7 days. I'm going to write down what schools I searched, And then I'm going to look at what the requirements are to get into that school every day for 7 days. And then I'm going to make the bold statement and download the application for each school that I search. And then I'm going to take it even bolder. I'm going to go ahead on and just start filling it out. See, that's conquering a fear, because you're now attaching a habit to who you're becoming. That's good. That's good, Clarence. Well, I'm doing the best. Doing the best that I can. All right? All right? Look at this, you all. Tasha says that very thing. I was afraid, but I did it. Because she see herself as a college graduate. You see the difference? When you see yourself as what you are becoming, then you start developing the habits to make that a reality. This is awesome. This is the awesome thing. My God, this is awesome. Check this out, you all. Now, once you've written these statements, once you've written your I am, and then I do, I want you to put them somewhere highly visible. Highly visible. Mine's are right here. Highly visible. Something that I read every single day. Something that I think and ponder on every single day. When I'm on, now I'm on this schedule, you all. I'm on this very strict schedule. It's called the Pomodoro method. And the Pomodoro method is you work first of all, you identify the 5 things that you want to accomplish that day. And then you work on them and scheduling them on your calendar. And then from there, you actually set the timer and you work intensely for 25 minutes on it. No distractions, no notifications, no nothing. And then when the alarm goes off in 25 minutes, I take a 5-minute break. You know what I do in my 5-minute break? Exercise, push-ups, squats, sit-ups, weightlifting. And when that finishes, you all, then the alarm goes off and I go back for the next 25 minutes. And man, you talk about productivity level is off the charts. Because when I take that break, I look at what I'm becoming and I know that I need the habits to match my identity so that I can continue and consistently stay who I am. All right? So here's what we're doing. Now, these statements are important. And here's why these statements are important. And I quote James Clear from Atomic Habits. Every action you take is a vote towards the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. That's rich. That's rich. So with that stated, I pray that each and every one of you would take this opportunity for the next 7 days. I'm going to challenge you until we get together next session. For the next 7 days, I want you to dive deep into this Start Small MasterClass workbook. It's going to help you with your I am and I do statements. Now, in this workbook, you're going to, first of all, get a welcome letter from me. And then in addition to that, before you do anything, this is a habit that you're going to create. This is a habit that I've created. Before I do anything, before I even drink a cup of coffee, first thing I do when I wake up, jump out of bed, I drink a bottle of water. That's a habit now. And then before I drink coffee, because I want the body to be right, I start journaling. Here it is. spend at least 5 to 10 minutes with these journaling prompts. And I've given you a few pages of that. And then the last one is to write a letter to your greatest fear. Pat, this should work real good for you right here. But anyone can dive into this because you're getting ready to change your behavior, your identity. All right. And then I talk about the habit tracker. Now, this is key to read this because you got to figure out what habits to get rid of. I'm going to preach on it Sunday. And then next Wednesday, we're going to come in and we're going to roll our sleeves up. And I'm going to give you a strategy to get rid of bad habits. But here's where I wanted to get to right here. This is where I want to get to. Oh, let me back up. I've given you 7 pages because what I want you to do for the next 7 days, I want you to track every habit from when you get up in the morning all the way until the evening. If you run out of space, I even gave you an extra note page. So I want you to track your habits for the next 7 days. And what you're going to discover is that there are so many things that you're doing subconsciously that in no way is tied to your identity, which is why every day looks the same. But we can change that. For the next 7 days, track your habits. Now, for those who jumped on, and this might be your first time on, what they're looking at is those who registered to be a part of our MasterClass. They're on a special list, and I send them emails and information regarding what I'm sharing, and you can jump on it too. So I'm going to ask the digital pastors once again to drop that link to register so you can get yours and start this journey with us. So let me know in the comments section. This is a little different from what we normally do with the gathering, but I told you it would be different because we're in MasterClass format. So let me know today in the comments section, what stood out? What stood out? And once you identify what stood out, it could be a point, it could be a principle, but I want you to tell me what stood out and then what's your next move. Well, you should know what your next move is. I'm going to create my I am and my I do statements. And if you have any questions, those are part of our crew. Just email me and I'll answer the question the best that I can. But I want you to get started. I want you to get started. So what stood out and then what's your next move? And then I want you to keep that in the forefront and let me know in the comments section so I can go back and read and check it out. So do that. What stood out to you today? And then what's your next move? Now here's another freebie that I'm going to give you. What you're attempting to do by changing what you think about you and then creating a system to help you become how you see yourself, you're going to have a myriad of distractions. You're going to have naysayers, people not believing that you can accomplish what you plan to accomplish. So I want you to prayerfully get you someone who can hold you accountable. Tell them what you're working on. Tell them what you're doing. And then just say, hey, man, my pastor, we're working on something. I'm in this master class and it's all about creating an identity and then putting together a system to ensure that what we are doing happens. And I just need someone to make sure I stay on point. Because one is too small of a number to do anything great. You need a tribe. You need a team. You need someone that you could trust, someone you can walk with who can help you do this. Thank you, Petite. Petite says, get you an accountability partner. My man, Albert, what's going on, brother? My next move is to work on my am and my I do statement. Brother, you got it. You got it. So next week, I'm going to call for a few of you to be willing to share your identity statements. And I only want you to work on one. Now I have 4. I'm the pastor. I'm supposed to do that. But I want you to work on one. And if you're willing to share it, then go ahead on and share it. And I'd greatly appreciate that as well. All right. That's our time for today. And I think session 2, well, I believe session 2 was powerful because we got a chance to really roll up our sleeves and dig deeper into crafting these I am and I do statements. So work on that. And next Wednesday, what you're going to discover, if you track your habits, you're going to see some bad stuff, but don't beat yourselves up yet. Don't beat yourselves up, because I need to show you how to break those habits so that you can consistently become who God called you to be. All right? That's what we'll do next week. So if you would like to make sure you get that workbook, go ahead and click that link, register, get on the list, and then we'll send it out to you and you can begin the journey as well. Now, y'all know I can't leave without raising an offering. And Mars Hill is the platform that allows me to be able to remain creative and innovative and bring to the world innovative things as such. And so since this is the platform that allows me to be me, then you could sow a seed either through texting. You could text MHGIVE to 33777, or you can visit our website at marshillchicago.org/giving, or you can mail in the gift at P.O. Box 6159, River Forest, Illinois 60305. And that way you can continue to bless the platform that allows me to be me and to creatively share the word of God so that we become all things to all people, that we may win some to Christ. They call me the dude with the food, which means that what we feed, or what I feed, and here's my thing. My daddy used to say, son, what you feed grows, and what you starve dies. He says that wolves don't eat sheep food, so keep feeding the sheep. And that's been my mantra right there, feed the sheep. And so since I'm the dude with the food, then you've been fed. Then if you want to turn around and feed a brother, this is how you do it. And I know the caliber of resources I provide far exceeds one's expectations. So there's my Cash App if you want to send a love gift. There's my Zelle if you want to send a love gift. And there's my PayPal information. And it's also in the comment section. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. Did you all enjoy today? Let me know in the comments section. Did y'all enjoy today? If so, let me know, because I thank God that we had this time together. Join us Sunday, 10:30 a.m., right here in these same streaming channels as we continue the series, Small Habits, followed up with Wednesday's MasterClass. And I pray that you have a profitable and productive week. Until next time, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord turn his face toward you and be gracious to you. May the Lord reveal to you your I am and your I do statements so that you can begin to shape your identity and then create the systems to make it happen. And we ask all of this today in Jesus' name. Amen. See you all Sunday. Have an incredible week.